Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girls, Eleshi Cynthia. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. Subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell to get notification whenever I post a new video. Like, comment and share. If you want to see how I achieved this look from start to finish, keep on watching. Yeah, I'm starting over with cleansing her face with my wipes. Guys, whenever you want to do makeup on any client, first of all, clean that person's face. You just see now, I cleaned her face with wipes first before going over with this micellar water cleanser, and you see the dirt that will come out from this. Just clean your client's face so that you don't work on a dirty skin. Guys, just look at that dirt that came out from that skin. Even as I've already cleaned it with only wipes, I still went on with this micellar water cleanser to cleanse her face. So do that thoroughly before you start your client's makeup or your model's makeup. So going over, I'll be moisturizing her face with this balm moisturizer. Yeah, I'll be applying that generously on her face, under her eye, especially under her eye. Just make sure that you have enough moisturizer under the eye to keep it hydrated throughout the day. Then after that, I'll be going over with my primer. I'll be using the Rimmel primer and my Younger Beauty matte primer. But before that, after applying the moisturizer, I still went in to massage it with my hand. Guys, it needs to dry into the skin before you go over with your primer. And this is me applying my primer. I'm using my Younger Beauty matte and Rimmel primer, to prime her face. That is me spreading that Younger Beauty first of all over her face. Then I'll be using this matte primer, that's Rimmel primer, to apply on the T zones where she tends to sweat more and oil out more. So that's me blending it in, guys. It's been long I've meant to drop this video, but I've been actually doing something. So it's actually made me not to create content. But guys, I am fully back this time around. I'll be giving it to you guys back to back. And that's me going on with that Meron skin prep to control her sweat, to control sweat and oil. That's my Meron. Then after that, you just make sure it dries in before you go over with your foundation. So I'm going over with that Motic foundation and Adventure to mix both of them to get her perfect skin tone. So that's me applying that on her face and blending it in with my beauty blender. So like I said earlier, guys, I love tapping all my products with my beauty blender. It helps me blend in very well. That's my routine. So going over, I'm using that shade I missed to go over her forehead, her cheekbone. Just build it as if I'm doing contour. Then I'll still go over with the light Motic foundation for her inner eye, the bridge of her nose, the areas where you highlight when doing makeup, and the areas where you highlight while doing makeup is your forehead, the bridge of your nose, under eye, your chin, under your nose, So that's me going over with that other shade. The Motic foundation shade is lighter, so that's what I'm using for her under eye. It just helps me to build the basis for the highlights I'll be doing with the concealer. And while doing that, I make sure to blend in very well, like blend in very, very well. So like I said before, I've been saying it and I always say that blending is everything on makeup. In fact, once you learn blending, you've learned makeup. Once you learn blending in everything seamless, you've learned makeup. That's me going over with that orange shade from my Bicham Ageless Cosmetic. That's my go-to shade for blush whenever I'm working on a light skin client or a model. So it goes well for light skin. So that's me blending it in as I'm going over from the cheek to the forehead. I'm blending it out. I'm using the remnants from the beauty blender to go over her forehead, to make that place bronzy, and it actually gives it that warmth. That's me going over with it again on the tip of her nose. Now I'll be mixing this my Ezekiel concealers in the shade caramel and the lightest shade. I always forget this lighting, but I actually showed it there, so just go back and watch this thing. So that's me blending. Like I told you guys before, I love going over with my concealer. If I want to apply my concealer, I love getting those concealer with my beauty blender. It helps me blend it in seamlessly. And if you can see, I use the tips of that beauty blender to scoop the foundation, apply it, then use the other side of it where the concealer is not much to blend the outer part. That's just watch what I'm doing. I'll just apply it with the tips, then use the parts where I didn't use to scoop the concealer to blend it in very well. Guys, there are a whole lot of things that you can do that will work for you. Just as you do your makeup, anything you notice, just master it and you'll be good to go. So that's me blending. Like I said, blending is the key. I don't stop blending until I make sure that everything is so that's me going over with that foundation shade. That's the first mixture I use to outline the contour, and I'm coming over from under her eyebrow. I will form a V kind of shape, then straight down to the bridge of her nose, then blend it in. You blend it in with your brush. So blend in. Like I said, blending is the key. So after blending it with my brush, I will still go over with my beauty blender to blend it in very well. That's me going over with the beauty blender to blend it in, to make sure there's no harsh line. Like guys, this is very, very important. Blend every step ahead. You blend every step ahead. Do you just see that skin work? As I was doing this work, I actually went to my friend's place to create this content, guys. I'm actually working on my studio, so that's what has kept me from creating content. But man, I needed to create something for you guys, so I actually went over. That's my powder that broke the other day when I was doing my makeup. So that's the lightest shade. I'm using that lightest shade to set the highlighted area. So before you set, guys, blend in, especially the under eye, so it doesn't crease. Before you go in, make sure you blend with your beauty blender first before going over with to set with your pressed powder. That's me setting with the pressed powder first before I go over with my mirror. Now I'll be using that dark shade. It's not really dark shade. It's not dark, but I'm using that shade to run her nose contour, and I'm blending it in. As I'm doing it, I'm blending it back into her under her eyelid, so the connection will be there. So I'll be mixing these two shades in cinnamon and ginger. I mixed it to get the shade I wanted for her skin tone. That's me setting it with my beauty blender. Setting it. So guys, as I was saying, I'm actually renovating my studio. Not really renovating my studio. I'm moving from my studio to the next one. My neighbor at my workplace backed out, so her own space is bigger. So I communicated with my landlady, so I moved over to that place. I'm actually putting things in place there, you get. So that's what it has actually disorganized me, and that made me not to create content for a while. But guys, I'm almost through with the whole thing. I will see between a video to show you guys my new space and how far we've gone to create it, you get. So that's me snatching her nose with that setting powder. So I actually forgot to powder all over her face, because whenever I set the under the highlighted area, I still go over with my powder to set the whole face. So I forgot that. So immediately I wanted to do the reverse contour, I remembered and went back. So that's me, setting her face, all over her face with that powder. So going over with my setting powder, I did her reverse contour. Do that from her mouth area down to the cheek. Then setting her eyebrows, guys. I did the brows off camera. I didn't do it off camera. I actually created this look. I'll be posting a detailed tutorial on how I achieved this particular eyebrows. So going over with my concealer, the same lightest shade of ZK concealer. I used it to do my shadow base. I used it as my shadow base, and I'm blending that in with that blending brush. Do that gently, tap, make sure that it does not have any harsh line. Just blend to your satisfaction. After that, I went over with my Sevia MAC eyeshadow. I'll be showing you the shade I used for this part. So I mixed it with my brown. I mixed it with my brown powder. So this is the color I used earlier at the other part. So I'll be using it here. I'll be using the other part. After that, I'll be going over with that shade from my palette to mix it, so it doesn't turn out too reddish, so that's me blending in fact anything that you're doing in your eyeshadow, both eyeshadow, just blending is the key. So going over with that shade, I'll be transiting. So I'll be doing my transition. That's me transiting as the other part of the eye. So guys, watch. Then going over with these two shades, I would outline my crease. So I am drawing that, a bit. I said let me do a little bit of dramatic eyeshadow today, guys. I'm a fan of nude eyeshadow, but this time around I said let me do something extra. So that's me kind of cutting the crease with that dark shade, and I'm forming the lines that I want to use. Okay, so that's me blending it in. Guys, I was doing this with this particular brush and it was not really blending in very well. So that's me. I changed my brush. So going over with that shade, I am blending it out so it doesn't have any harsh line. Now this is the actual brush that gave me what I wanted. So at least it helped me blend it very well. It's not as stiff as the other ones. It's a bit fluffy and precise. So when doing this, you need a precise blending brush so that you'll be able to blend it out so it doesn't go over all over the eyelid. So guys, that is basically it. I'll be going over with that light purple to further deepen and to deepen the cut crease. So just watch and see how I do it, how I created this beautiful eyeshadow, guys. It really came out so beautiful. It turned out so beautiful, guys. Don't mind my hair, it's just covering everything. So I went over with that light shade to apply on my base. That's the shade I'm using for my base. So I'll be applying that. In fact, when applying this, you don't sweep, you tap, like you tap it on. If you sweep it, it will not give you that full coverage that you need. So you need to, pat it in. I'm actually patting it in. So that's me patting it. After that, I'll be going over with my Technique glitters glue. That is what I'll be using to hold my stones, because I applied stones on that eye. But before that, I went over with that brown too. A kind of, dipping the outer part just a little bit. Nothing really serious at that end. I just went over it. Just let it not be that I left it like that. You get. So that's me also patting it very well. Then this is my real technique. I use the back of my brush to get the glitters. Then placing those stones, I place the 3 stones like so, line by line. Then that's basically it for this. I then going over with my Beyond Beauty gel liner. I am lining her eye. So that's me lining her eye. Guys, did you see how natural these eyebrows is looking? See the strokes, guys. So mixing that 2 shade, I went over to apply eyeshadow under her eye. So that's me applying her under eye eyeshadow. Guys, I don't like missing this. Whenever you miss this step in your makeup, there's this difference it actually gives. Like before, when I started makeup newly, I don't used to do this part. I used to skip it. But when I started it, I see the effect it actually gives makeup. It gives me this extra effect and it makes it look finer. That's me dusting off powdering all over her face again and dusting off the reverse contour that I did. So going over with this liner, guys, I lined her under eye. I guess this liner is from Blossom. I lined her under eye. So that is a purple eyeliner. That's me lining her under eye. Guys, that's me lining her under eye. Then going over to her lips, I am lining her lips with that dark brown from the Bechamp Ageless Lip Palette. That's me outlining her lips. So guys, like I was saying, my studio, guys, the thing has actually been stressing me of lately, but I thank God everything is coming together like the way I wanted it. Although there was so many, most times when you plan things, they don't come out the way you planned them. That's me going over with that orange shade on her lips, and then I'll be blending it in. Then going over with that concealer. This is a K concealer. For me, it's a multi-purpose concealer for me. I use it for so many things. So that's me applying it on her lips, blending it out. And blending it out. Still going over with my brush and blend. Like I said, blending is the key. When you're doing your lips, you need to blend. That's me applying her lashes directly on top of her natural lash. Like, make sure that is sitting on her natural lash. That way it looks more natural, even though her normal lash is very coily that you even be seeing it. But if it's someone that her natural lash is straight, you don't really need much work. Once you place it directly under her lash, it will just hold it. So that's me asking her to smack her lips and still blend. I was still blending, then applied that light, nude shade from that Bechamp Ageless and blend it. Guys, blend as if your life depends on it. So going over with that orange shade again, and I'll still blend it until I get the perfect shades that I wanted. So as you're blending, ask your client to smack her lips. It actually helps in blending. So after that, I'll be going over with my flat brush to outline the upper part and the lower part of the lips, to make it precise, guys. If I couldn't even do my hair, guys, my studio, my studio arrangement, will I call it arrangement or furnishing it, it's actually came on me hard this time, guys, because I didn't really I didn't plan it ahead of time, but it just came up and I decided to let me take this now. It's an opportunity that comes now, and if I don't take the opportunity, I might not get it again. So that's me going over with that cheek pop, those two orange shade. That's the shades I use for my light skin model. I use it to do their blush, further to make the cheek pop and glowy. They're going over with my Team Essential in Balm. I'm using it to apply on her cheek, to make that place shiny. It's just like a balm. Then still using my blending brush, I went over to use the remnants on the beauty blender to apply on the nose contour area, so it will also look bronzy too. Like I said, I use my beauty blender for my highlights, guys. Using that Blossom highlighter, I went in to highlight the highlighted areas, guys. So after that, I went in my small brush to also highlight the middle of the nose, the bridge of the nose too, then her brow bone, and that is it. Then, guys, the forehead was too much, so I had to actually went over that forehead. I said, let me try using normal brush like I do, guys. It was still too much. It didn't blend in, so I had to use that brush again to blend it out. Then going over with my Zara mascara, guys, I'm brushing the under eye and even the one under her lashes to made both of them, and yet the girl's lashes is so coily and it actually gave me headache. So that's me using my Nuban the Glow, to further highlight my brow bone, the cheekbone, the bridge of the nose and the middle of the nose. So guys, as I was applying my mascara, it stains. So guys, whenever you apply mascara on your client and it stains the eye, just allow it to dry. After allowing it to dry, use your spoolie brush to remove it gently, and it will still be inside. That's me applying lip gloss, and man, this is a finished look, guys. What do you think about this look? It's so beautiful. If it was your trad, would you rock this look? Like, if it was a trad, would you love to rock this particular look, guys? I'm so in love with everything about this look, guys. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share. Love you all. Bye.